Welcome to my book story. This is a show that gives author an opportunity to share their story and the story behind their books. Today I am with a man that I'm looking up to. Is a great motivational speaker, a great writer, and a great leader, Sibusiso Joshua Molimi. So today we are discussing working through the barriers to success, because everyone wants to succeed, or they are looking for ways to be successful in life. But there are so many barriers that we are faced as entrepreneurs, as authors, and as people in general. But today we have a guest who will share with us those barriers, and he will share with us his life. Welcome to the show, Mr. Joshua. How are you, sir?
No, man, I'm blessed. How are you?
No, man, it's great, man.
Oh,
you know, you're the guy that in South Africa, when we speak motivation, I think you have captured that space, and the things that you are doing, it's so amazing. And I'm honored to have you on the show, and I'm looking forward to this discussion because I know we'll learn a lot. So before we go any further, tell us, where did it all begin?
So Galava, man, born and bred in Soweto.
Sure.
I stayed with my mom, my late mom. I stayed with my dad. I stayed with my sister, Topsenvili. And then my mom and my dad separated, moved to Soweto. You know how it is, man. It's not always been like this, right? And sometimes people look at me and they think, you know, like I was just born, Jane, then I was just started speaking. Born in Soweto, Land West, and I'll always be grateful, you know, for family. Family was there to support me. My late mom was there to support me. And then, I think, it's the grace. It's really just the grace of God. And I authentically mean that. The reason why I say that is because I got my first bursary when I was 9 years old.
Sure.
9. So Bingena Vuleka
Okay.
in North Riding. And Vuleka had a partnership with a school called St. Peter's Prep in Rivonia. Top quality private school. And I'll keep on sharing lessons from this story that, you know, you're looking, you're watching, and you're saying, but how do I move to the next level? And one of the things that worked for me was I was put in a completely different environment where I was forced out of my comfort zone, where I was forced to dream bigger. Exposure. I mean, I used to see these cars and see these houses, and my friend Dean, his mom and his dad have got these cars, and they've got, like, I can feel them, I can touch them. So listen, be in an environment where you are inspired, be in an environment where you've got to dream bigger, and you've really got to push yourself. They say if you're the smartest one in the group, you must leave. So you've got to keep on pushing yourself. So got the bursary when I was 9, got my second bursary when I was 13, went to a school called St. Albans College in Pretoria, and then I got my third bursary to the University of Pretoria. So I think the best word that best describes us, Buddha, is I'm an opportunity maximizer. If you give me an opportunity, best believe I'll maximize it. That's it.
Yeah, it's so profound, because but what I want to get from you is like the guy who grew up in Soweto and the guy that we see today as traveling the world. You've been all over the world. You've attended. You're speaking to big conferences.
Yeah.
Just give us the mindset of the guy in Soweto and the guy who's changing the world today.
So once again, I mean, Master to Sbuda was a lukshin.
Sure.
Sbuda, Machita, typically wake up in the morning, say how much your chima, then say buya, then say ploma. But the change, once again, it came when I moved to St. Peter's. I was put in a different environment where I had to dream bigger, where I had to get out of my comfort zone, where I had to work harder. And it was more like a competition. I was like, man, come on, I can do better, you know. So it then meant that during holidays, I had to work because I was kind of playing catch up, man. I had to work to make sure that I do well in my academics scale. So now let's take the Sbuda who was 8 years and the Sbuda who's now 12 or 13. They're two different Sbudas. So during holidays, I'm no more just playing the machita, spending a lot of time on the streets. I'm reading, I'm studying, I'm spending time with my friends. I remember, where did I come from? It was a holiday. I just come back from, I think, overseas, and but I was home for like an hour, 2 hours. And then mom was happy to see me. I was like, no, mom, I'm not home. Because You know, I love being in a certain environment. I needed to go and see my friends, spend time with them, because when I was in that environment, man, I was inspired, I was empowered. I was like, yo, le impilo. So to answer your question, the change of environment. Being in an environment where you are inspired, you are empowered, you've got to dream bigger, you are challenged. And there are people who are ahead of you who are saying, hey, come bring it on, let's see what you've got.
Okay, well, and another thing, you're big in speaking in high schools, in corporate, and in different organizations. Let's go back to the book, Working Through the Barriers to Success.
Yeah.
Can you differentiate the barriers that the kids in high school they are facing and the guy in corporate, or are they facing the same barriers, or is there different barriers?
They're different barriers. I don't think they're fixed barriers. I mean, you could be in corporate and one of your barriers is self-identity.
Okay.
You could be in high school and one of your barriers is self-identity. You could be in corporate and you're struggling with conflict, dealing with conflict.
Okay.
You are in high school, you're a leader, you don't know how to deal with conflict between you and your teacher and your peers. So the barriers are different. The strategies are different.
Can you give us an example?
So, for example, one of your barriers could be you are still in high school and you don't know which subject choices to take.
Okay.
You know, you're stuck, you're confused. Passion says this, the heart says this, Abazali say this, your teachers say this. So there is a confusion in terms of which career do I go into, right?
Sure.
If you're in corporate, one of your barriers could be conflict management. There is maybe a young, powerful, dynamic mover and shaker, and there are people who are looking down on you. There are people who are spreading rumors about you. You don't know how to deal with that kind of conflict. Do you see that the barriers are different?
Yeah.
But the perspective is important. How one sees a challenge.
Yeah.
One will see a challenge and go, why me? I see a challenge and I say, okay, what is this challenge here to teach me? How do I tackle it and how do I conquer it? So I look forward to challenges, because out of challenges we grow, out of challenges we become better people. So it's a different perspective that will change the game for you.
Okay. So for you, like, what barriers, are you facing any barriers now?
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think there's anyone who's not facing a barrier, a challenge, things which are in your way, things which you're trying to overcome, you know. We all are.
Okay. So in essence, you're saying that every stage, like in each and every stage, like you come across these different barriers.
Yeah, for sure.
So can I use the book to move through those barriers, or it's something that...
Look, the book speaks to you in different stages.
Okay.
For example, you are struggling with subject choices. You don't know what you want to become. You've got this dream, you've got this passion. Maybe there's a project that you want to start.
Okay.
In my last chapter, I speak about a project which we started, IAEA Soweto. We were young, we were in university, we wanted to make a difference. So what did we do? We went to the different schools, asked for a platform to go and speak.
Yeah.
So you are in high school, you've got an idea, but you don't know where to start.
That's a barrier.
Right?
Yeah.
I also speak about maximizing the opportunities that one gets when in high school. So when I went to St. Albans College, I had a dream to be on the board. There's a general honors board. So when I'm all up, we general. Like you are the general. Once you get out, so the school cannot give you a higher award. It's the top.
Yeah.
And so that was one of my dreams. That was one of my goals, to be there. And so when I got into St. Albans College, I was like, one day I'm going to get there. And so obviously different challenges that I had to go through in order to achieve that goal. Right? Another one is maybe you are in varsity.
Okay.
And while you're in varsity, you're battling. You lose someone in your life. While I was in university, my final year at university, I lost my mom. How do you turn the setback into a setup for a comeback? How do you deal with that loss? How do you deal with that challenge? One of my dreams was to graduate and then to have my mom see me graduate.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. So when you are faced with that challenge, when you are faced with that setback, where you lose someone who's close to you in varsity, how do you deal with it? At work, how do you deal with it? Right?
Yeah.
Now we move. You are in corporate. You've just started in corporate. People are looking down on you. You're not sure about yourself. Where do I fit in? You're having all of these negative conversations. How do you deal with that? How do you master your thoughts? One of the chapters that I speak about is working on your mindset. Because once you can master your thoughts, you can transform your life. Work on you.
And there's something that you said before we started the interview. You said the body is a servant of the mind. Can you share more on that?
The body, so, let me repeat that. The body is a servant of the mind. Where I want to see this card, you can say, I'm sharp, yes.
Sure.
So what's that? It's the mind, right? It's the thoughts that are going on in the mind. And what does the body say?
It agree.
Yeah? So it will respond to what's going on. Or you'll say, you know what? The body is fine. But now in the mind you've said, and then what? The body
will respond to it.
Will help you and prove to you that you are tired.
Yeah,
now they heavy. How? It's just responding to the mind.
Yeah. And there's something that I always ask myself, but I thought today I'll ask you. You said you had 3 bursaries.
Yeah.
And then after graduating, most young guys, after having their degree, they'll go to corporate.
Yes.
Why didn't you go to corporate? Or did you go to corporate before? I don't want to ask
No.
You did not go. Then why didn't you go to corporate?
I haven't worked for anyone.
Why?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So, I started motivational speaking when I was 18 years old. And I graduated, I think 6-7 years later. I know, it was a 4-year degree, but it took long. Anyway, delay is not denial. So while I was learning, while I was spending time with my mentors, while I was going to events, attending conferences, learning about the industry, learning about the business side of motivational speaking, I saw huge potential.
Yeah.
And in that 4 to 5 years, I built great relationships. People were trusting me, people were inviting me, and I thought, well, there's no need for me to go into corporate. So what I'm going to do, I made a decision that I'm going to be a full-time entrepreneur and I'm going to pursue this.
So
there was a, hey?
You started your own corporate.
So the demand was there.
Yeah.
The opportunities were there. The potential to grow was there. I had created a brand. I had created credibility. People could trust me. People saw the work that I was doing. And so there was no need for me to go into corporate.
Yeah, because I'm asking this question because the way you transition, it was, for most of us, when we're looking at the distance, we think it was a smooth transition.
Yeah.
And you are a good entrepreneur. Like what you are doing, it's amazing. And I asked that question because I wanted to understand the thinking behind it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I remember when I after graduating, I went to corporate, and then when I was there, I found out that it's not my space, and I had to go back to entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
But I want to find out, was it easy, or is it easy, and would you advise someone else to say, if you feel like this is what you need to do, go for it?
Look, Sia, our journeys are not the same.
Sure.
There are some people who will have to go into corporate, learn certain lessons, build up capital, build up credibility, get content, know how this big machine works, and then go out and start something on their own. There are some people that will have to be in corporate, see the gap, and then go out and close that gap. So our journeys are not the same. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. Sometimes at the end of the month, I don't get a salary at the end of the month. I've got to put in the work myself, but it's beautiful. I control my time. I decide when I want to wake up. Yeah, I can wake up, I can go for a run, I can start at the office at 10 o'clock. But once again, man, I think it's just to say, where am I? Spending time with yourself, understanding yourself. Don't just jump into entrepreneurship, and understanding that entrepreneurship is really just identifying the problem and then coming up with a solution, but not doing what everyone is doing, and asking yourself, is there a demand for what I want to do? And when I get into business, I really mean business. Understand yourself. Not all of us are meant to be entrepreneurs. Yeah. But when you make that transition, like you did, you are getting into another zone.
Yeah.
I was emceeing an event last week, and the CEO of GEP, Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, Miss Leah Manenza, was like, me, entrepreneur, angilapho. Like, I'm okay. You know, there's just some people who are okay, and as you get to spend time with yourself, you understand that, you know what, maybe I'm meant to be here.
Yeah.
I'm meant to bring solutions. I'm meant to blossom where I'm planted.
Yes.
And then later on, look, you become an entrepreneur, because if you're all entrepreneurs, then
Who's going to work for us?
I didn't say that. He said that.
And there's a part in the book when you spoke about doing what you love or working on what you love.
Yeah.
Let's speak about IAEA Consultation.
So that's the name of the company, IAEA Consulting. I was in an interview yesterday and they asked me why that name, why IAEA.
Yeah.
So 2013, I started a hashtag. I was in a challenge, a battle, in a ring, boxing ring. It was me, and then it was the year ahead, the year and its challenges. So it was me saying to the year and the challenges, like, multi-IAEA, it means you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So that was my attitude. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming. So I started a hashtag IAEA 2013 to say, 2013, watch out because I'm coming. People call into the hashtag. Every time I'd go and give a presentation, I would get the crowd screaming IAEA. And if you didn't know what that means, then you must go and find out. But I would explain what it means. And so that's how I came up with the company name, IAEA Consulting. And IAEA Consulting specializes in public speaking training. Over the last 7 years now, 8 years, I've been blessed. I've been privileged to be on various platforms, interacting with different audiences. And I've learned not only to just communicate, but to connect with my audience.
That's right.
We all have a great idea here.
Yeah.
We all do, right?
Yeah.
But the fact is, a great idea that is poorly presented sounds like a poor idea.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
Right?
Yeah.
But in your mind, it's a great idea. So how do you package it? How do you sell it? And over the last 7 years, I've learned the tools, the strategies on how to help people become confident, how to help people package their message, and how to help people sell it. All of these great companies, multinationals, when they started off and they didn't have the capital, what were they doing? They were selling their vision.
Yeah, vision, yeah. And there's interesting, like, there's something that I've been sharing on social media. I keep on telling people that I'm not poor, but I'm broke. And most people, they don't understand that being broke, like, I make an example that if I have R1 million in my account,
Yes.
and I want to start a project, a 5 million project,
Yes.
I'm broke, but I'm not poor.
Yes.
Because I have I have R1 million, I can live on R1 million.
Yeah.
But in relation to my project, I'm broke. But what makes big companies is the vision that they have.
Yeah.
Because people when we buy this book, sure, we are not buying the book, but we're buying the man. We're buying your vision because we understand that we have seen Sibusiso started here, Prakip Iperea, like he got a bursary in high school,
Yeah.
and he got a bursary to higher a level.
Yeah.
And that means you are able to break those barriers. And then now we are able to buy. So I like what you are sharing. So share with us the barriers that you have written in the book, and how can one maximize, like, when after breaking them, because identifying that I'm facing like, let's say in your business you find many people, they have vision but they cannot communicate them. That's a barrier for them.
Yeah.
And you help them to break that barriers.
Yeah.
But that's another thing, and there's another step where you have to take action toward that,
Yeah,
to
true.
sustain that thing. Yeah. So share with us the barriers that people are facing.
In the book, I speak on 5 barriers. The first barrier is a lack of vision. A vision is a mental picture of your desired future.
Yes, sir.
So there are people who don't know what they want, but they know what they don't want.
Yeah.
And so they end up focusing their time and their energy on things that they don't want. And where focus goes, energy follows and magic happens. You will end up getting what you don't want because your time, your energy, and your focus is there. So as I was having a conversation with people, you ask someone and say, Dona marufunan, boy. Boy. Maria Zangiko show. Or if they do know what they want, they're not very clear on what it is that they want. So I know kind of this, it's and I make this example where I say, When you go to McDonald's, I call it the 6 C's. I say, clarity cuts confusion and clarity creates connections. When you are clear, it cuts the confusion from the other side. Lucislia knows what to do and what your price is.
Yeah.
And then also it creates that connection. So I help people with regards to this barrier to say, let's go back to the young Sia,
Sure.
to the young Lerato. What did you want to become? Maybe life happened, you lost someone, tragedy, you know, and all of a sudden now you think like these things can't happen, you're too old, etc. So let's go back to the younger you. Let's create a vision board for you. What do you want in terms of your marriage? What do you want in terms of your relationship? What do you want in terms of money? First thing, let's make sure that you've got a mental picture of your desired future. Because when you don't, when you wake up in the morning, uspanela in, what are you working towards? Because the power of that vision is that it will help you dictate your decisions.
Sure.
You've got a decision to make.
Yeah.
Do I do this or do I not do this? Well, does it help me get to where I need to be? And if it doesn't, then I don't do it. But it's difficult for you to make that decision. Right? The second one is the enemy within.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah. Yeah, the enemy within. The old African proverb that says, if there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. You're always having these negative conversations. Yeah, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe it is true. Maybe I am fat. Maybe I'm this. Maybe I'm that. So practically, now we're talking about taking action. How do you break through that barrier?
Sure.
You need to identify, why am I having these conversations? So what that means is you spend time with you and you ask yourself these questions. First, acknowledge that it is a barrier. You know, it's like someone who knows, or their barriers that they've got financial crisis, but time.
Faith.
I faith. I mean, isn't those no mina mali? I know mina. So you acknowledge it,
Sure.
and then you say, why is this happening? Why do I have this barrier? Where is it coming from? Let's trace back. Where did it all start? Once you've identified that and you've answered that question, you then say, whom can I go to that can assist me with this? Who has overcome this certain barrier that I'm facing? Which book do I need to read? Which seminar do I need to go to? Which audio do I need to listen to? Which video do I need to watch that will help me overcome this barrier? Because clearly, I cannot do it on my own. And I say work, we're speaking about it, every single day. Work on overcoming this barrier. And start with the end in mind. So once you've overcome this barrier, who are you?
Yeah.
What do you look like? And every day visualize that person and work towards being that person.
Wow.
Practical, very, very simple. We don't want to give you too much information. So here's the barrier that I have. Cool, I acknowledge. I've got a problem. This is the barrier. This is the challenge that I'm facing. Then I spend time with myself to say, how did I get here?
Because that's $1 million question.
How? Mfike kanjani la? I've been doing the same thing, same decisions, hanging around the same people. Oh, okay. As you answer that question, you realize, man, I've been saying the problem is that person. The problem is not that person. The problem is me. Or maybe the problem is that person.
Then I have to get
Yeah. So then you must let them go. So you ask yourself these questions to say, how did we get here? Because if we don't ask ourselves that question, we'll keep on doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, and that's insanity. And once you then identify that this is what got me here, how do I overcome it? Who do I go to? How do I get help in order to break through this barrier?
Will not give you more than that because you must get the book.
Yeah.
And you.
That was deep. You can clap for me. Thank you, man.
Thanks, man. Man, you're big in motivation. Maybe South Africa or the world, they haven't captured the real Sibusiso. But man, when it comes to motivation, you're the guy that I look up to. Like I respect the way, the seriousness that you put in your craft. But what is motivation to Sibusiso? What motivates you?
What drives me?
Yeah, what drives you? Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ask people what they drive. Ask them what drives them.
Yeah.
Very good question. Thank you. Before I answer your question, I've been doing this for 8 years, consistently. Whoever is a master was once a disaster.
Take note.
Whoever is a master was once a disaster. Anyone that we look up to who's doing extremely well in their craft, in business, in science, in whatever fashion. No one woke up great. No one was born great. It was a process.
The process, yeah.
right? So why am I sharing that with you? To say we look up to people and we say, wow, they're amazing. Let's find out the story. Let's find out what is that they had to do to get to where they are today. So you will get there. But understand that whoever is a master was once a disaster. Because sometimes you're starting off and you're going, yeah, man, and already you're comparing you to me. Not knowing that I've done it for about 6 or 7 or 8 years. So take it one step at a time. To answer your question, what drives me? I'm driven by just the 35-year-old Sbu. I'm 25.
Sure.
And one of the things that I do every morning is I look at my vision board. So right now as I work, I'm working for the 35-year-old Sbu.
Sure.
I've got a 10-year vision.
Yeah.
Right? I know what that 35-year-old Sbu is supposed to do, where he's supposed to go, where he's supposed to impact, the place he's supposed to go. So I'm driven by that 35-year-old, working towards becoming that 35-year-old Sbu. I'm driven by the word of God, man. I'm driven by the word of God. I'm driven by grace. I'm just driven by seeing people flourish. I just feel there's so much more in me. There are many things that drive me to get to where I need to be.
Like, you see, when you said you're driven by that 35-year-old Sbu, that's a powerful point.
Yeah. T.D. Jakes says there is an older seer that is depending on you to be smart. Don't disappoint him.
Sure.
Because in 10 years' time, see, you'll have to give an account to yourself.
That's true.
You'll sit by yourself and you'll have to give an account of the life that you lived. So look at where you are. You're 25, you're 26, you're 27, you're watching this, you're 36. And then say, in 10 years' time, the 46-year-old Lerato, the 35-year-old Sipo, who are they? Where are they? Where are they impacting? What's their life looking like? And work towards becoming that person.
Yeah.
Let that person drive you.
Because, like, there's a guy that I was watching yesterday. He said, every great thing, if you have a dream, give it a decade. And it makes sense for me. Because even yesterday, most of the time when I'm coaching musicians and poets, I told the guys, if you have a song, write that one song 1,000 times. And you will be amazed. Like, if you're writing for the 5th time, it's a different song than they were for the first time.
Yeah.
Imagine writing the same story for 1,000 times. And for me, like, it's the same story that if you give your dream a decade, it's the same thing that I did. Because people, they don't understand that you are that 35-year-old Sbu, but you still have to go through the process.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, if there were no barriers, life would be boring.
It would be boring.
It must be exciting.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not finance, it's business. If it's not business, it's relationships. Not relationships, it's this, it's that. It's exciting, man. You're in the boxing ring, you know, and you've got to make life exciting for yourself, yeah, man.
No, it's true.
You know, I've got this challenge, okay. You know, some Christians, I'm a Christian, they will say, maybe it's the devil. The devil is trying me. And this is an opportunity for God's glory to be seen. We say that this test will become a testimony. Whatever test you're going through, it will one day become a testimony that will liberate people. We say that the mess that you're going through will soon be a message and you'll become the messenger. You know what I mean?
No, but this was one of the greatest interviews that I had, because it's amazing when you sit down with a young person and the vision that you have. So guys, this is my book story. We had this Sibusiso speaking about working through the barriers. This is what I'll tell you. If you, whatever dream that you have, give yourself a decade. Make sure that you buy this book, because it will change your life. Because many people, they think motivation is not working, but those people are not working. Because if you are not working, motivation will not work. Sbuda, before we go, I just want to give you a 60-second where you speak to that, anyone who's facing a certain barrier. But there's a barrier that you do not mention, but like many people, they have their dreams, but they're procrastinating.
Yeah.
Can we work on that and help those guys to say, what is it that they can do to stop that thing, and how much it costs them to procrastinate?
Wow, so procrastination.
Sure.
Christopher Barker says that procrastination is like a credit card. It's a whole lot of fun until you get your bill. Procrastination is like a credit card. It's a whole lot of fun until you get your bill. Yazi ayikho ebuhlungu nje ngokuba nephupho. And then to say, one day I will get there, I will, I'm going to have that shop there. They wake up the following morning, somebody else has already taken it. We're seeing it at Lokshin and Malokshino. My Pakistan, they've come, they've taken the spot. We always say, boy, I want to lap. So Shakawash, Pakistan came and they took that space. So all of us, I mean, even I know I speak about procrastination, so I'm not an exception. There are certain things that we'll say we'll keep doing, but we end up not doing. Now let's be practical, right? You want to write a book. The first thing that I share in this book is, start small. You've got this massive dream. You want to save R1 million. You want to write a book, a bestseller book. Maybe I can show content. Do I have enough pages? Start small.
1 page.
Write 1 page a day. If you write 1 page a day for 1 year, how many pages do you have?
365. Then you have a book.
You have a book. You want to save R1 million. You break down this big goal into months and into days, into weeks.
Yeah.
Months, weeks, and days. For example, if you had to save 50 Rand a day, 50 times 7 gives you what? 350.
Yeah.
350 times 4 gives you 1,2, you have about 1,314, 1,400 Rand. 1,400 Rand, you times it by 12. You're gone. So start small, 1 day at a time. Well, I've got this idea, when I start a business, we have to do this, we have to do that. Can you just go and register the business?
That's all.
That's it. Can you just go and find one client and sell to that one client? And then the following day, sell to 2 clients. The following day, have a goal of selling to 3 clients. Coca-Cola, when they started off in Atlanta, the first year, you won't believe it, they sold approximately 430 bottles of Coke. First year. If you divide that by 365, how much does it give you? 1.2, 1.3, let's say 2.
Yeah.
So they were selling 2 bottles of Coke a day.
Yeah.
Look at Coke today.
Selling millions.
Look at Coke today. So that's all I'm going to leave you with. If you want more, get the book, right?
Yeah.
But you've got to start small. Take it 1 day at a time and then set yourself some deadlines. If it doesn't have a deadline, it won't be done. And once you've set that deadline, you have what? An accountability partner. Because here you can say, no, I'm going to start the gym. 1st of April, I'm going to the gym. Only you know.
Yeah.
So even if you don't do it, you didn't hurt anyone, right? But if you say, Spuda, please hold me accountable. If I do not do this on the 1st, these are the consequences. Start small, set a deadline, have an accountability partner. Just those 3.
And for the viewers, because you are one of the sought after motivational speaker, how do they get hold of you?
Thank you. I appreciate your kind words. You make me shy.
You're good, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I always say, just in closing, one of the things that helps me grow and will help all of us grow is, and I've learned this from my mentor, is you need to have a CIC. The CIC is a continuous improvement consciousness that says, I'm good at what I do, but I don't want to be good. I want to be great.
Sure.
I'm great at what I do. I don't want to be great. I want to become exceptional. I'm exceptional at what I do. I don't want to become exceptional. I want to become world class. I want to compete on a world scale. So it's to say, thank you for your kind words. This is a lesson for someone. Because sometimes you settle. And then what do? You become big-headed.
Yeah.
So to say, I appreciate your comment, but I want to take it to the next level. Because that gives an opportunity to always be growing, to always be learning, to take it to the next level. If people want to get hold of me, my contact details are 0720664925. My email address is info@IAEA Consulting. So info@IAEA consulting.co.za.
Okay, guys, we are signing out. Work through the barriers to success. This is a powerful book, and I'm sure by now you agree that at my book story, we are sharing stories with powerful men. I spent a great time with Sibusiso. He's a hardworking man and he's doing great things. Thanks for being in the show, man.
Thanks, brother.
I really appreciate it.
Sure.
Make sure you catch us at Global Conference TV. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe on our channel on YouTube. There's a lot that is coming.